People constantly ask me, how do I do so well in the early game and how do I level up my commanders so quickly? Well, I'm going to let you guys in on one of my secrets in this video. It may surprise you. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Please stop mock battling in the early and mid game in Lord of the Rings Rise to War. You might be saying, Phoenix, that is crazy. Everybody knows that as soon as you get a 200 power tile, you should start mock battling. Well, I disagree, and I'm going to show you guys with some math why I don't think mock battling on a 200 power tile is, I'm not going to say it's absolutely never worth it, but I truly believe that it is almost never worth it. So let's go ahead and find a 200 power tile of mine. Any tile will do for the sake of this example. So if we were to send my friend Gandalf the Grey to mock battle, we would get, and this on a 200 tile, we would get 30,000 EXP for the cost of 10 stamina, if we have the ring skilled. And a lot of times you're going to take your first 200 power tile before you can really afford to fully invest in the ring skills for mock battling. But for the sake of argument, let's assume that you have that. 10 stamina and 1 ability point. The ability point is really the more important thing to note here. You'll also get 4,500 extra EXP if you have full EXP on your ring, as well as full yield on your ring. Additionally, it's going to cost you 12,000 grain. Oops, I did not mean to open that. Keep in mind, I do not actually have rationing skilled. You could cut this cost down by 10%, which on a 200 tile would be 1.2k grain if we're doing some quick math. So remember that. 1 ability point, 12,000 grain per ability point, and the 10 stamina. Now, if we were to, say, gather on a 200 power tile, we would gain 48,000 resources, and that is without any skills in the gathering ring skill, and it's without a gathering accessory. Gathering accessories, especially to refine them, that's a bit of a whale thing. So we're just going to say 48,000 wood for 3 ability points. So if we do some quick math here, that is 16,000 resources for 1 ability point. If you combine that with the 12,000 grain that you're going to pay in order to mock battle one time, every single time you mock battle, you're losing out on the chance of getting 16,000 resources via gathering, and you're paying 12,000 resources for that mock battle. That means you're paying 28,000 resources every single time you mock battle. If you were to use all 30 of your ability points in a day on mock battling, that would be 28,000 resources times 30. That's a lot of resources. Back to the EXP example here, we would be getting 30,000 experience. Now let's take a look at something else that you could be doing instead of mock battling for experience. A level 25 mob, these things are extremely easy to kill. My Galadriel lost essentially 61 units. I have 41 wounded. Those guys will be healed. No big deal. And I'm gaining 22,000 experience. Keep in mind, mock battling on a 200 was only 30,000. And I'm gaining almost 10,000 grain as well as boosts. Now, building boosts as the season drag on become relatively useless. I have 284 5-minute boosts, and I've used like at least 300 of these this season, all of which I've gotten from sweeping. However, you can also get universal speed ups via sweeping, which can be used on your apothecary, which can be very, very important in intense and close wars. So level 25 mobs, they're super easy to kill, and you can gain 22,000 experience. I don't think I've killed a level 30 super recently, but I mean, I've just been killing every single level 20 to 30 mob that I can. There's gotta be a level 31. There we go. Level 30, you're getting pretty much exactly the same amount of experience, 600 less, from sweeping, which also can be reduced to 10 stamina for the same exact 10 skill point investment that you would have to put into the stamina reduction for mock battling. I'm gaining 600 less experience, but I'm gaining 10,000 resources rather than paying 28,000 resources effectively. So sweeping can be an extremely lucrative way of leveling up your commanders. If we take a look at my ring skills, you're always pretty much going to take powerful sweeping. This is one of the best ring abilities in the game for the entire duration of a season, which means you're already right next to effortless sweeping. Granted, you're right next to efficiency as well, but you can get your sweeping down to 10 stamina per. You basically cannot burn your stamina quickly enough unless you're sweeping with eagles or cavalry because they move super quickly. Instead of investing anything in yield and efficiency, if you're going to go on a sweeping spree, you can gain 20% extra experience from sweeping versus 10% extra experience from mock battling. So you can actually gain more experience per stamina by sweeping rather than mock battling on a 200 tile, keep in mind. Now, I will go ahead and say all of this does change when you get your first 300 power tile because you get a whopping 50,000 experience per 10 stamina. Granted, it does take a little bit more grain, but not that much. But it's, almost double the amount of experience, particularly when you factor in the bonus from your ring skills. So mock battling on a 300, I'll say, is definitely worth it. However, I'm going to go against what I used to say, and I'm going to say that mock battling on a 200 power tile is never worth it. I've completely stopped doing it these past few seasons, and I think that you should probably stop doing it too. The main drawback of sweeping is that it does take a lot of time because you have to wait for your army to get there, wait for your army to get back. So it can take a time investment, but honestly, you could send out 4 or 5 guys sweeping, put your phone down for 5 to 10 minutes, however long the return time is going to be, and then come back and reap the rewards of all that experience. And then I will just give a shout out to farming things like eagles and ents. This is almost 200,000 experience for 20 stamina. Absolutely minimal losses here. Very easy to do. I'm not going to say that you should always do this instead of mock battling because not everybody's going to have access to eagles or ents. However, if you do have access to eagles or ents, I would always pick doing this over mock battling, even though it does cost some troops. It's really not that much for the amount of experience that you are gaining. There's absolutely no faster way to level than grinding on these mob camps. And I kind of hope that in the future the devs fix this because I really don't think it was intended, and it gives a massive advantage to factions that can grind on these camps. For example, in this current season, my Gandalf was level 49. I started doing this when he was like 42 or 43 or something. And at this point, I'm almost like 10 levels ahead of a lot of the other commanders on the server. There are some 50s out there, but a lot of people are still stuck in the late 30s, early 40s. That's when EXP becomes it's not harder to get. The amount of experience that you need in these seasons to level up your commanders becomes significantly more than it used to be, which makes these mob camps significantly more valuable because they are such an efficient source of experience. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something useful. I'll catch you in the next one. Phoenix over and out.